Church, dated between 5th, 6th century. What you see are the piers that supported the church. And as you can imagine, it doesn't take a whole lot of imagination, but it was a huge church. You see 3 of the piers here. The 4th pier is over in this direction. Only the foundation has been uncovered. Over here, we have the frescoes near the top of one of the piers. And there's not much that remains. And of course, year by year, they are degraded. As you folks know, sunlight, of course, fades things. It's really quite remarkable that you've got what little bit exists here, but we don't know exactly who is depicted in these circles. Could be an archangel, could be one of the founding fathers, an early saint, but that's all that we have. We would imagine that the entire wall was probably frescoed. Now, the other pieces that you see out and around here are other pieces that have been found out and around Al-Shahir. They weren't necessarily found here, but various architectural pieces that they located to this one. As you can see, it's a city block, or a half city block for that much. It's not a big city block. It's not as big as the block that we saw in Akhisar. Akhisar, we failed to mention, actually means white castle. So Ak meaning white, Hisar means castle. So I kind of think that they should have a hamburger restaurant there in town, but they don't. But you can see a sarcophagus over here. Well, a couple sarcophagi. Patty over here is, in fact, resting upon the sarcophagus. You can see some column capitals. You see some column bases. You see a few inscriptions. This is a Byzantine inscription here from a later period. It's upside, no, it's not upside down.
And this church is
5th, 6th century church. And then we have small little tombs for probably infants, osteotheques. So a few of those different architectural fragments. Let me give you this, you can add. You know, I'm sorry to disappoint you,
No.
but
You're more than welcome.
that's
I just had
all
it
we have.
nearly charged. So,
Yeah, I'll have to charge that tonight, maybe.
no.
Here, let me help you. I've got it.
Sorry.
There we go.
Okay. And also over here, what we had seen in Thyatira, there was again a small church right next door in the center. But because of the size of the pendants, at least this must have been the major church in this area, because even though the excavations have not been completed, when you look to the cavea of the theater for Philadelphia, this could be like the biggest size that this town could accommodate for the Christian community gathering. It doesn't have a very huge theater which can be used in order to give a rough estimation about the population. Though you will be approximately right, absolutely wrong, you can use 1-to-10 ratio. If you know the capacity of a theater in a certain area, then multiplying with 10 can give you a good estimate. Of course, it will not be the exact population number, but it can give you a good estimate. So we can expect to have a maximum population around, let's say, 4,500 or 5,000 people in the town of Philadelphia when we consider the size of the small theater over here. And also, one interesting item, I was talking about the population exchange, and whatever is discovered in the countryside is brought here. This graveyard stone, number 39, is what I can call as a bad death. I mean, a good death and a bad death, I categorize it in a way. Good is timely death, when you're elderly enough, you had seen your kids, you had seen your offspring, grandkids, so on. So biologically, it becomes like a timely death. But if it's a death at a very young period, then it's untimely. So I always call it as a bad one. And with the direct translation, the Greek letters used by the community, which was in a way forced to leave this area to be replaced with the Muslim population according to the agreement done between Greek and the new Turkish Republic. This is when I read the translation, it can be translated as follows: as the covering that opens on May's Day gives flowers an excellent smell, early and unexpected, as a wind from the north, as the knife of death took away the life, so fast, my dear Efthalia Saradoi, beginning of the second year of her life, born in May 1878, died June 1879. So just a 1 year old baby who
Yeah.
just passed away, which I always refer as a bad death. But at the 1800s, having a graveyard stone like this can give us an idea about the majority of the population, not majority, but the size of the Greek speaking population that is large enough to have a cemetery of their own and have graveyard stones like this. The basilica itself is extending in the east-west direction, and for sure, even underneath the water closets of the small display part over there in the garden of the house, if you keep on digging more, you'll be able to come across with more of the ancient Philadelphia. But as I have tried to explain, you have to give a very good reason to the owner of the house there and the neighbor and the other ones to abandon that area and to carry on the excavations, which is only the continuation of a basilica, which we have thousands of them in this country. So, uh, unfortunately, in one of the seven churches of the Revelation, that no bad one of them, as one of the churches that no bad comments had been given to Philadelphia, will be limited with a small size like this for the coming period. Even the frescoes over there, right on the wall, we don't have much idea about to whom they belong, but at least this must have been, the other two must have been regarded as the saints or the archbishops or the deacons in the area because of the crosses on the white robes that they're wearing. We had seen the same depiction in Hagia Sophia, so any priest at a high clerical level was used, or his name was eternalized by placing his frescoes. So that's all I would like to add to what Mark has already said. You can